Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. We're running around in Missouri right now. I think we're right about in the center of Missouri, I think, somewhere right there. But anyway, I've made videos talking about attitude and how important it is. It's funny. I've mentioned that I was in the Marines, and we'll cover probably a couple of things on this. One thing is, we were told, I was 18 years old, finishing up training, getting ready to go to Vietnam, and they told me, the Marines told me, we are under no obligation to follow an immoral order. So if it's immoral, I don't care who, if the general, anybody tells you to do it. If it's an immoral act, you are not, you don't have to do it. And the example that they use is during the Nazi years, a lot of these people that are these SS and all these Germans that were executing people, they used, I was under orders to do this, and it didn't fly. They didn't accept that as an excuse to do immoral acts. When you do an immoral act, that's your personal. You are taking that personal act when you're doing something immoral. You can say somebody ordered me, but it doesn't make any difference. You personally did that. So it didn't work for them. And at 18 years old, that was very confusing, because I'm going off to Vietnam to kill people. And when you're young, the black and white is very easily seen. And, so it's easily looked at and saying that's immoral. And but anyway, and that's why when people, and I've always been like this, anytime someone says I can't go into the military because, killing people is not, that's against their religion, their beliefs, or whatever, I go along with it. That's okay with me. Because like I say, you've got your beliefs, you're going to stand behind them. So, especially if it's a moral or immoral belief. So that's okay. Okay. Now, keeping that in mind, that changes your attitude on something like that. Also, in Vietnam, I was in the jungles. I spent 13 months, I lived in the jungles. Now, every once in a while we were on fire bases, but in general, most of my time was spent living in the jungle, 24 hours. Now, once a month we'd go into the rear and get new clothes and mend our wounds and stuff like that. But what was really odd, and I never thought about it at the time, even to this day, I never questioned it. And that is, we're walking through the jungle, and then they'll show you a map, and whoever's in command of your group, whatever your fire team, your squad, platoon, whatever it is, and they show you a map. They say, this is where we're going. Now, when we go there, many of us are going to die, but we need to go there. And an example is Khe Sanh. You probably don't know anything about Khe Sanh if you're young, but I was in the sweep around Khe Sanh. Khe Sanh took a lot of fire. I mean, a lot of mortar, artillery. my job was to go around and sweep around it. And so that was a good example. We were expecting, we went in, we knew we were going to die. We didn't know who was going to die or when we were going to die or how we were going to die. But we knew we were going to die. But we did it. And that's one of the things that I kept that attitude. In other words, you're going to die. I mean, you know, in life, we don't really know when we're going to die. We don't know how we're going to die. We might get some ideas as you're getting sick or something like that. These are things that might start. But when you were, any time through your life, you can't really predict how and when you're going to die. And I just take it for granted. That's the way it is. That's why when I travel, you know, as I travel, I go everywhere. And I have that attitude. And when I get into situations, I have that same attitude. You know, I'm going to die. I mean, is today a good day to die? I mean, you know, now a lot of the Indians say, you know, today's a good day to die. You know, so they wake up with that attitude. That's why when they go to war, they're pretty brutal, because, hey, today's a good day to die. You know, what's the difference? So, when you have that attitude, and that gives you strength to do all kinds of stuff. And that's why I push self-defense, because when you can't defend yourself if you're worried you're going to die. You know, I mean, if it's, you know, and I know a lot of people thinking, well, defending yourself would be like somebody punching you in the face, stuff like that. But I say I get into a lot worse situations than that. And the threats can read me. They can tell this guy is ready to die. You know, I mean, hey, let's do it. We got. Are you here for a reason? Well, let's get this reason taken care of. And so, in other words, I really don't have no fear in dying. Now, I do have certain fears, and what's cool about this last Mexican trip, one of my biggest fears is getting sick in a foreign country. I mean, what do you do when you get sick? I got sick, and I was sick for 2 weeks, and it was really scary. By myself, it's hard to, you know, are you going to die? Hey, you know, and like I say, there was a couple times I left my door unlocked, and hey, come in and kill me, and, you know, come on, now's a good time. So death, once you're in fear of death, that's going to stop you from doing a lot of stuff. And this is the thing that I don't quite understand. I didn't understand when I was training SWAT teams. They always say, before they go in, they always say, we're going to go home tonight. So when you have that attitude, that limits your capabilities. And I've been watching, you know, I've been researching and talking about mercenaries. And so I've been watching a lot of videos. And I even saw a military team that's supposed to be, you know, one of our finest military teams. And then he says, okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna do this stuff. We're looking for somebody. They're gonna do this thing, and we're gonna come home tonight. And the first thing that got me is, you're in the military. You know, how you gonna go home tonight? You know what I mean? But what it is, they got their bunkers or barracks, wherever it is, their safe place they go in the evenings. So this is why, so they go out and they do, and that explains why they don't carry all the the gear and stuff, especially like we used to carry a lot of gear. And we had to carry extra mortar rounds, extra machine gun rounds, you know, all kinds of ammunition and stuff, not only for ourselves, but for the other people. So, but I thought that was really odd that they're concerned about their life. If you have that concerns, it's really going to put you at a disadvantage in self-defense. You just know you're fighting for your life. If you can keep that in your mind, that you're fighting for your life, you've got the advantage. Remember, the threat is fighting for I don't know what. And the way it looks, the way I've been seeing, a lot of people are worried about going home tonight. So, in other words, their safety is their concern, not their objective. And in Vietnam, my objective was to do this, whatever I had to do. And the reason is, if I didn't do what I would do, other people would die.
Continued 100 miles.
I still got 100 miles to go. But, so, the idea of your safety, remember, you are more important than just for you. It's your families, it's your friends, you're fighting for them. And don't worry, it's better to put up and lose than to shut up and stick your tail between your legs. This Mike, NoStressMike.com.